friends! Ever since I created this butterfly, which you can get for free by signing up for my newsletter, I've wanted to create this simple interaction. It may be simple, but it's very satisfying in VR. I have Fistful of Shrimp to thank for the easy to follow video, which I'll link in the description. Just wanted to show you how you can tailor simple interactions into things you want to do without knowing tons of code. The XR Socket Interactor is a part of the XR Interaction Toolkit, which I'm a huge fan of, and I have yet to review all the latest updates that have happened there. But it's next on my list. In this video, I want to show you how to take the butterfly and place it on your left-hand controller. I know that I haven't shown you how to set up a VR scene yet, only because there are many tutorials out there about that, but if you'd like me to cover that, I can. My focus here is teaching you about my design and art process and encouraging you to be creative in how you approach VR. Now I'm going to give you an overview of what I did to create the butterfly interaction. This isn't going to be step by step because you've got the Fistful of Shrimp tutorial for that, but I just want to show you how useful of a skill it is to have the ability to translate a tutorial into something that you want to do. Let's see how the butterfly is set up. So if I click on the butterfly, we look here, we have a rigid body that's not using gravity, it's kinematic because I just wanted it to stay in place wherever it was and not drop to the ground. And a box collider and a grab interactable. And I did that so that I could, after it's on the hand, replace it onto the mushroom. As for the animation, we want to add the component, which is an animator, and then we want to make sure that there's a controller and an animation clip. If you look here on the model in the project window, you see that there is an animation, but what I generally do is I need that animation clip off of the model so that I can reference it more easily in Unity. So I duplicate that. I go to Edit, and then I press Duplicate or Control D and duplicate, and then I can move it into an animations folder, for example, and reference it from here. So if we click on that animation clip, we also want to go to the inspector and click on Loop Time, because we do want it to loop and just idle with the open and close of those wings throughout the animation. Here's where you could also add the animation controller by just simply right-clicking and then going to Create and then Animator Controller. And then we go back to the model that's in our scene and we make sure that we have referenced that butterfly controller by dragging it here. And then in the Animator tab, if you don't have it, go to Window, Animation, Animator, and you would drag this animation clip into here and make sure that the entry, just like it's pointing here, is pointing to the default state, which is going to be that opening and closing of the wings. We're keeping this really simple because we just want that to keep rolling with the butterfly while the interaction is occurring. So then where did I put the butterfly so it would land on the hand? So if we look at XR Origin here and then we find where the left-hand controller is, this is where I childed a Socket Interactor component. It has the script for the XR Socket Interactor and then a sphere collider as well. So if I click on that, you could see that that's where the sphere collider, the controller's in the ground right here because it's waiting to be in play mode. And I also added a hand attach. So this is an empty game object. And then when I was in play mode, this is when I determined, I positioned the butterfly the way I wanted it on the hand and then copied those component values and then pasted them here so that this is what the butterfly would land on when it comes to the interaction landing on the hand. Also, the other things that I added to the XR Socket Interactor, be sure to take advantage of these Interactor Events. This is really good if you're not really too familiar with coding because you can quickly have an event happen. So when the butterfly lands on the hand, there's a heart effect that happens as well as a sound. So all I simply did was dragged a heart prefab particle system effect into here. And then I made sure that the game object was set to active. So it's just a true or false bool. And so that's checked. And then also I made sure that the audio would play. So it's just a sparkle effect. And that's under here, under scene audio, I have a butterfly sound. That's also not on play on awake. Make sure that's unchecked and make sure that's not looping because this is just for an initial bing sound like that. Where I found that was under freesound.org. I hope that this quick overview of what I did is helpful. I just really want to show you how you can get really creative when you look at other tutorials and figure out how to translate them into what you want to do. As you can see, it isn't difficult to do once you know what pieces to put together. Then I just play with this interaction in my headset for a while until I discover what is next. Sometimes what I like about not knowing code is that I'm forced to become more creative with the tools that I do have and understand. What other creative ways do you plan to use the XR Socket Interactor for? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, please hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and I'll see you next time.